Hi, it's Dabble Mom, and I had so much fun doing my last video that I thought I'll try another one. And for this recipe, what I've chosen is a beloved Sri Lankan dish. I think anyone who's traveled to Sri Lanka or heard about Sri Lankan cuisine would be familiar. We call it egg hoppers or bittara appa. And if ever I think about Sri Lankan food, this is one of the first dishes that pop into my mind, and I miss it so much having it back home. We would have it for breakfast, even for dinner sometimes. And now if you ever visit Sri Lanka, there are so many places that do it, and you get various hopper nights that concentrate solely on serving variations of hoppers. And Sri Lanka has just opened up for tourism, so if ever you get to go and we can all travel safely, please do visit and try out the amazing Sri Lankan cuisine. So now to get started, I just want to tell you a bit about the recipe I've chosen, and I was so happy to find this, and it shows actually how multicultural Canada is as well. I found this on eggs.ca, which is a Canadian link, and I'll put the link below as well. So it's for egg hoppers or bittara appa. Okay, so I'm going to start out by showing the ingredients we will need for the batter. So we will start with half a cup of rice flour. We will need 1 cup of coconut milk. I've used the canned coconut milk. 1 cup of warm water, 1/4 teaspoon of yeast. It says 4 teaspoons of oil and 1/4 teaspoon of salt and 1 egg. And this is the traditional kind of saucepan we use to make the hoppers, and this can be bought at a Sri Lankan store. We bought this at our local Sri Lankan store, and you just need to kind of have a little oil so that the hopper slides off easily, but I will show you as we progress with the video. And that's the ingredients we need for the batter, so we will first get on with that, and then we will progress to the different variations. Okay, so now what we have to do is we have to put in the 1/4 teaspoon of yeast and to add it to the 1 cup of warm water, and then you whisk it together, and then you have to keep it aside for 10 minutes to let the yeast activate. And then after that, what you can do is you can add the 1/2 cup of rice flour. I just wanted to make sure I'm telling you the right quantities. So you add in the 1/2 cup of rice flour and you whisk it together, and you have to set it aside for 2 hours to rest. So I have to mention that this isn't a recipe you can do in a rush. It does take some time, and afterwards it's going to take another 2 hours to let it rest after you add in the other ingredients. So you do need to start ahead if you want to try out this dish. Okay, so now we have the rice flour, which was mixed in with the yeast and the warm water. That was set aside for 2 hours. So now we're going to take it and add a few more ingredients. At this point, we can add in the coconut milk, and then we can also add in the salt. And then we're going to whisk it together and get it into a nice smooth consistency, and then we can set it aside for another 2 hours. Okay, so now we're going to finish off with the batter, and at this point we would add in 1 egg. I've already mixed that in, so we'll mix that up. And I was getting a little worried about the coconut milk, which was kind of still a little clumpy. So a friend suggested that I should add in some warm water, and that will help to make the batter more smoother. So I've gone in and mixed that in as well. And now what we're going to do is mix it up well. It should be slightly thinner than a pancake mixture batter. Prep the pan, And now I'm going to put some of the mixture in, and we'll first try with our plain hopper. I'm going to take a bit of the mixture, I'm going to put it into the pan, and at this point we would swirl it around. I hope you can see, and we just swirl it around to get the shape of the pan. So it would look like a bowl. So this is my first time, so I hope it will look like that. We'll give it a try and see. Okay, so now we're going to do the egg hopper. So what I've done is I put the batter again, and I've gone and cracked egg into the middle. If you can just see, you can see the egg in the middle. It would have been nice if I cracked it in and it was nice and complete, but it broke a little, so that's okay. And we're going to just put a little salt and pepper into the middle of the egg, because it's going to look nice and give it a little more flavor as well. So this is what it's going to look like, and we're just going to let the egg cook in the middle. So now for the final variation, which is the milk hopper, we're going to add the batter in again, and for this what we're going to do is add some coconut milk into the middle, and I'm going to add a little bit of sugar as well, and that will add the sweetness, and then we are going to let it cook again. Okay, so now we've got our completed hoppers, and like I said, we did the 3 variations. We have the plain hopper, the egg hopper, and the milk hopper, which is the sweeter version. And what I'm going to do is add some brown sugar on top to the milk hopper, just to show that it is for the sweeter one. So I have to apologize. A real hopper traditionally, like I said, would be much more of a bowl shape and crispier at the top. This is my first time, and like I said, the pan is a little shallow, so we've kind of got it more like a pancake. But I will put in the link so that you can really see. If you have the real shallow pan, it will look like a nice crispy pancake bowl instead of like a regular pancake. This is my first time. I think it was a little adventurous for me to try it on the first time, but it's not too bad. What I would suggest is for the batter to double the quantity if you are using this recipe link, eggs.ca, because I feel like though they say it's for 8 people, I think you would need to double it to really get the proper portions, because you need to add quite a bit of batter for it to take that shape and not be thin and not break out. So there you are, egg hopper, a plain hopper, and a milk hopper.